Welcome to Kletus Ray's Roadside Service. Here we are. We're at the hotel. We're in Lincoln, Nebraska. Man, what a day yesterday. But as of right now, it is 6:40 in the morning, and I am leaving the hotel. I got to get over to Holdridge. I should be there around 9. And, but first, I have to get out of the hotel. And this is going to be, I don't know if they've ever had any semis come underneath their canopy before, but they're about to. If they ever haven't, this is their first. Says clearance is 13. I'll just go around it. It's not a big deal. You know, it would be nice to go underneath the canopy, but you know what? I'm gonna go around it. You never know. Maybe the roof could collapse as I'm driving underneath it. I don't need that to happen. Anyways, we're pre-tripped. We're rolling. Yesterday was interesting. Let me tell you about it. So, we got in. I was talking to you guys on the highway, and then I started listening to some podcasts and shit. And I drive all the way up. I get to where I need to be right at 11. I roll up, and the two guys are sitting there. And I talk to them, and they fill out all their paperwork and all that good shit. And then they were talking about running a bunch of fucking hose all the way across the tracks. And I'm like, dude, I can come around and I can get right in between those tracks there, right next to the track that I'd like to be at, you know? Like, why? Because they have all the tracks shut down. So they're like, oh, yeah, just run some hose over the tracks. I'm like, I ain't running. I brought 7 hoses with me. I don't plan on using them all. Okay, I plan on using one, maybe 2. So yeah, I drove around and I just nosed in. I was like, I'm gonna back out when I'm done, which worked out. But nosed in, pulled up. The only thing I was really worried about was that there was a lot of bushes in the area that I had to run over to get to where I needed to be, and there were bushes there too. There's bushes everywhere because these are old. This is an old rail spur and grain bin silo stuff. So all the rail cars that come in here are full of seeds and shit and grain. So over the years, as them rail cars are bouncing around and shit, some of them little seeds are popping out and falling down on the ground. And then over the years, they grow plants. So there's a bunch of weird fucking plants, a bunch of different types of plants and shit over there growing growing along the rail over there. You know, it's nothing crazy here. I'm over explaining it is what I'm doing. Sorry about that. A lot of fucking bushes and shit. So I was worried that if I park my truck and I idle it up and it sits there for a while, with it being as dry as it is and seeing these the fires on the side of the highway all over the place, I'm like, I don't want to be sparking a fucking fire over here, y'all. Because that would really fucking suck for me to be sucking out diesel and then have my truck inflamed. You know, it just doesn't sound like a good time to me. So one of the guys there, I was like, hey, well, 2 of the guys actually. I said, hey, man, both of you, if you see smoke coming from my truck, let me know. And also, I'll tell you if I see smoke coming from your truck too. Because he had a small vac truck. I'm running the big tanker. Anyways, yeah, those those train engines, They have big fucking fuel tanks on them, and you just undo the fuel cap, or like the nozzle that goes down into the filler neck. Because I brought a 1-inch Stinger, which broke as soon as I tried to stick it in there. It was PVC and it was cold outside, and I was like, "Oh, this will fit." Snap! I'm like, "Never mind, that won't fit." Fuck! Luckily, I was able to get all the pieces out of the filler neck, because that would have been really interesting to try to suck out. So, yeah, we just had to take the filler neck thing apart and just shove a 2-inch suction line in there. No big deal. Stuck it all the way in there, started pumping. Everything went well with my truck. It pumped it as fast as it could possibly pump it. And then the other kid that's here, he's got a small vac truck. He's out of Omaha. And he's sucking the oil. So because they're going to scrap these train engines. There's 3 of them. They're going to get a fuckload of money for scrapping these train engines. They have a gigantic turbo on there. I'm like, man, these things just need a little love. I feel like these train engines would be worth way fucking more because they're complete. They run, they drive. There's nothing wrong with them other than they've been sitting for a long time. If somebody just came in here, did a little bit of maintenance, fired these suckers up, cleaned up the interior, maybe, I don't know, painted the exterior, you got 3 train engines for sale here. And I'm sure you could make a lot more money than what the scrap value is for 3 running and driving train engines. There are 2 of them are the same, then they're small, and then there's one that's pretty fucking big. But yeah, we opened up the engine bay doors because they were looking for, I don't know, something with the oil, I don't know, and giant big fucking turbo sitting right there. I was like, damn, that's pretty fucking sweet. If they're going to scrap these and you guys give me about 10 minutes to run over to Harbor Freight, I'm going to snag that turbo off of here. Because that'd be just, what am I going to put it on? My fucking 350 that doesn't run? My 1.8 liter fucking Cruise? I'm not going to put that on shit. I'm just going to, it would just be cool to have a giant fucking turbo laying around. It'd just be kind of cool to have. But no, it's all gonna go to scrap. I'm not gonna take anything off these fucking rail cars or these train engines. I always work with rail cars, so I'm always saying rail car. They're engines. They're fucking engines. But the weird thing that I mean, it makes sense, I guess, but they're running off-road diesel, which is kind of like, okay, that's tax-free diesel right there, I believe, is what off-road diesel is. And they put a red dye in it. They put red 40 in it, or whatever the fuck it is. And they run off-road diesel in the trains. How are they allowed to get away with that? Because, I mean, I'm basically a train with rubber tires on the road. I'm moving shit from one city to another, creating commerce, commercially, and that's commercial also. How are they able to run? I guess, well, actually, those those train engines, I think, are just to move around. They're not moving them city to city. They're just staying where they're at. So maybe I am wrong. I don't know if like regular old BNSF is running off-road diesel in all their trains. But it's like, hey, you're making all the truckers use the green diesel. Why don't you guys use the green diesel too? Because, we're all doing the same shit. We're just moving product from place to place. Just because you're on fucking a metal road doesn't mean you don't have to pay taxes. The fuck? And hey, listen, I'm okay with you not paying the tax on that diesel. Go ahead, put the red shit in. Let us put the red shit in too. Even though it's not, none of this is my money. None of it is. It's all. This is all up to Jesus here, I guess. I don't know. It's early. I feel like I got enough sleep here, but all right, let's continue with my day. So I go out there, we get backed in, or I get pulled in. I say, watch out for fires. We take the nozzle off. I stick my hose in. I'm sucking all of the fuel out of engine number one. Then we move to engine number two, and I suck it all the way down to about 800 gallons, according to the gauge that they have there, which I think is pretty accurate. I sucked it all the way down to about 800 gallons. So there's still 800 gallons in that one, and then another full, and that one held like 4,000 gallons. So this next load, I'm going to be able to get it all. I'm going to get everything. And the other dude, there's a little spout that comes off the side, and that's where whenever they do oil changes on these engines, they just undo the cap and open the valve, and then it spills all the oil out. And they were like, I'm going to go to the Harbor Freight or Walmart or whatever. I'm going to get a baby pool, and we're going to set the baby pool down underneath that spout, and then we're going to let it drain into the baby pool. And as it's draining in the baby pool, you're going to suck it out. Not me, the other guy. And I was like, hey, guys, hold on. Before you get fucking your swimming trunks on, let me just show you something. The nozzle is about the same size as your hose. If you put your hose up there and tape it, I don't see any problem with that. And they're like, oh, fuck, you're a genius. I'm like, yeah, I know. Because they were looking for fittings and stuff. They were like, how many fittings do you have? Oh, we need fittings. Blah, blah, blah. All right, we'll just do the baby pool. I'm like, hey, fuckheads. Just put some fucking duct tape on there and turn the vacuum on, and it'll be fine. And that's what they did. And it was fine. And it worked out. And they did all three of them. So the weird thing is that I had a completely full tanker. I mean, I wasn't completely full. Not like the other day. And I only weighed 75,000, so I could have added another 400 or 500 gallons on there, but they they pulled all the oil out into this smaller tanker truck, and he was only a quarter of the way full. And I was like, hey, do you guys want to, like, you could suck the rest of the diesel out of this engine here, because we got to drive 2.5 hours east to go dump this shit. Why am I going with a full load and you're only going with a quarter load? He's like, well, because it's oil and we don't want to mix it all together. I'm like, it all really goes underneath the same fucking profile as used oil, used diesel. There's what I said. All right, I mean, whatever. I mean, if Kansas City was up here doing this job, I guarantee you they aren't going to send a truck with a quarter load all the way back. They'll say, okay, you go dump and then go home, and then me wake up in the morning and come back out and do the rest, or you grab another, couple thousand gallons of diesel, and then we both go out, and then you don't have to come back because there's not enough at all. But that's not the way they wanted to do it. So it's kind of not making a lot of sense on what we're doing here, but I'm working for Omaha today. I'm doing what Omaha wants to do. So we both drove back. We got offloaded. The fucking Omaha guy, he was just pumping off like 700 gallons of oil, used oil or whatever. And we get to the BNSF yard where their wastewater treatment plant. And for me, they were like, hey, there's this big ass tank out back, pump it into there. So I go over there and I start pumping it into there. They said, you, the guy with the oil, go over to the drying beds. Well, not the drying beds. There's a pit near the drying beds. Said, just open your valve into the pit. And this fucking guy, I know exactly what it. I wasn't nearby, but I found out. I know exactly what he did. He pressurized the tank to no end, and then opened his valve and used oil about 70 feet across this fucking rail yard. He's like, oh shit! And he came over to us. Like, we didn't know what happened. Me and the BNSF guy, we were just standing there watching my shit do, because we were like, oh, he's just dumping oil. He's only got a little bit. It'd be fine. He wanted to be over where I'm at because I have a lot of shit and I got a different thing going on. He's just going to dump into a pit. No, he comes over. He's like, do you guys have any oil dry or like a squeegee or like a bucket or a hose? I'm like, what happened, buddy? It's like, well, I sprayed it out and, or I pumped it out and it sprayed across the yard. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. That's fucking guy. And the BNSF guy, he's really nice. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll get it dried up later. But the Oman guy was like, no, I'm going to get it cleaned up. And I'm like, okay, this guy's going to get it cleaned up, huh? And I go mess around my boxes. I'm like, I have a half a bag of oil dry that has been in here for probably years. Go ahead and take this, and here's some more absorbent rags. See if that'll help you out. And he took that, and he's like, I need more. I'm like, oh, shit, dude. So it was me. Everything went fine for me, other than the valve on the tank that I was pumping into. Whenever you're done, it still bleeds by a little bit. So you have to be quick to put the cap on. I only had a little bit of a spill. And my valves bleed by a little bit also. So upon connecting the hose, I had a bucket that I caught all my shit with. And so I don't like to immediately open, 20 pounds of pressure of hazardous waste. I don't like to do that. So maybe this is something I should tell the other dude. But whenever you're offloading and you want to use pressure, do not start the pressure until you get everything opened up. Like, if you're over an open pit, open up your valve and let it just drip out naturally. And then turn on the pressure, and it will slowly build up the pressure. And then you can kind of gauge and watch it before it gets to be a problem. And that's the same thing I did with me offloading into this tank. I was like, we're going to hook everything up. My tank is going to be neutralized. Everything is hooked up. My tank is neutralized. Your valve's open. My valve's open. Everything's ready. Now I'm going to turn on the fucking pressure, and it's going to slowly build up, and it's not going to have that big fucking bang whenever you open the valve, and it's going to fucking blow a seal out somewhere and cause an issue. It's going to slowly, gradually fucking build up the pressure, and then it's going to offload nice and smooth. That's the way I like to do things. I don't like to fucking take a hammer to everything. So, and I think, building up all that pressure and then just immediately, because they're air valves, there's not really an adjustment there. And then opening the valve is just like, pressure! No, I like to open the valve. Everything's neutralized. Everything's flowing, going to where it naturally wants to go. And then I turn on the pressure at an idle. And if it's not going fast enough, bump it up a little bit. Bump it up a little bit. Because this thing, it'll pull vacuum. And it'll, whenever you're pulling vacuum at an idle, it'll pull it up to, 15, 20 pounds of vacuum, or newer meters. I don't even know what the fucking technology term is for it, but however many inches of vacuum, whenever you're sucking, the space inside the tank is getting smaller, so the pump is having to work less. So as long as you get the tank vacuumized and you're loading product in there, at an idle, it's able to keep up with it, generally speaking. But pressurizing, it's got gravity and it's got pressure, and the void inside the tank that is building pressure is growing larger. So you do have to idle it up a little bit more to continue a steady pressure. Unless your pump is just fucking badass, you can do it at an idle probably. But I had to bump mine up a little bit because it was like it was working out pretty good because it only had to build up so much pressure to blow off. And then, but as the tank was getting more and more empty, it was taking a little bit longer. So, anyways, that's what happened with that. On our way back, because I got loaded, and I have a suspension load gauge in the truck here, and I know around 55 psi according to my suspension load with all the trucks, because all of the fifth wheel plates are in the same spot. The trailers are basically the same, and if I'm at 55 psi, I am about right where I need to be. But I added a little bit more. I was like, let's just pump a little bit more on there because I'm right at 50. I think I was at like 54. And I never unsettled the truck, and it always changes a little bit. So, but the truck was just sitting stationary. You have to turn off the PTO, which is weird. I don't like it. But whenever you turn the PTO on in these trucks, it drops your tractor airbags all the way down. And then your suspension load gauge inside the cab of your truck reads 0 because it's all the air is out of your airbags. So whenever I get my gauge to where I think I'm good, I turn everything off and I let it build all the pressure up and then settle out. And then I had 54 psi, but I'd never unsettled the truck, like release the brakes, move around a little bit, make sure I'm on level ground, all that good stuff. I didn't do any of that, and I was like, I think I can add a little bit more, so I added a little bit more, and then we're driving back, and the guy was like, yeah, let's just hope that one way station's closed. I was like, what way station? He's like, there's one on I-80. I'm like, where at? He's like, I don't know. It's over there somewhere, between here and Lincoln. I was like, oh, okay, well, now I'm kind of curious on how much I weigh. I think I'm legal, but I'm not sure. I need to pull off at one of these truck stops and check my weight before we get to a weigh station, because I definitely do not want to get a fucking ticket out here. And you know what would have happened if I would have been overweight or whatever? I would have pumped off some of my diesel into his fucking oil, and it would have been fine. We wouldn't even have to tell anybody. But we pulled off at one truck stop. I was like, I need to find a way, because I was following him. His truck's a little bit faster than mine, especially loaded. When I'm fully loaded, he only had a quarter tank. Pull off into a weigh station or a truck stop, and he's like, "Oh, they removed the scale." I'm like, "Dude, this place ain't never had a fucking scale." I'm looking around, I'm like, "Where would they have removed it from?" I'm like, "There's no fucking." He's like, "Yeah, they used to have one." I'm like, "Okay, well they don't." And just because he's from Nebraska, he thinks he knows everything about Nebraska. He don't know nothing about Nebraska. He don't even know where the fucking weigh station's at. You're a trucker in Nebraska, you know where the weigh stations are. On I-80 at least, right? So, anyways, we ended up going to another truck stop. I got my weight. I was only 75,000. So, I was good. I could have added a couple more 100 gallons on. Would have been fine. But I was like, I'm perfect where I'm at. Let's go. And we get the fuck out of there. We go down there, and then I'm like, hey, man, we need to find a hotel, because we had both got offloaded. We got his mess cleaned up, And dude, I can't like this guy. He's an all right guy. I like him, but he always he doesn't. I can't hear what the fuck he's saying half the fucking time. Even with everything quiet around us, I'm like, what did you just say? I don't understand what the fuck is coming out of your mouth. And he likes to yell with around trucks, and he says shit. I can't hear him. I'm like, I need a hotel. He's like, me too. I think is what he said. And I'm like, oh, okay, Mr. Nebraska, where do you want to stay? And he's like, oh, there's a Holiday Inn, blah, blah, right down there. I'm like, okay. And I look it up on the map, and I'm like, I'm not going to fit there. So I'm going to this other Holiday Inn, one that I've stayed at before. And I thought he was going to come to the same one, but he wasn't, which is fine. I didn't want him to come with me. It would have been kind of nice to have a fucking vehicle, a small little vac truck that we could have drove around over to the Wendy's. So I don't know. He went to one Holiday Inn, and I went to the other Holiday Inn. And yeah, I get there, and I have to shit so bad. But I got parked. I got a really nice parking spot, plenty of room. I planned my exit. Everything was fine. And I get out of the truck, and I didn't even bring my bag with me or anything. I just grabbed my wallet and my phone and walked over to the hotel. I was like, I have to shit so bad. And I go in there, and there's a line of 6 people. And I'm like, oh, no. And, of course, I am Platinum Elite. You know, I know what the fuck I'm doing here. 5 people in front of me don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're in there, they're like, oh, man, let me find the right credit card and blah, blah, blah. No, we need 2 rooms, not just one. Blah, blah. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Hey, Platinum Elite here. Let me skip the line, motherfuckers. I'm going to shit my pants in the lobby. If you don't get the fuck out of the way. So, anyways, yeah, I stood there and I waited for, I don't know, it felt like an hour. It was probably only half of that. And I get up, and the guy in front of me, he's also, you know, he knows what he's doing at the hotels. The other guys, it was like a crew of guys. I don't know. I'm gonna guess pipeline. They came in a rental car, and they all were dirty, and I don't know. Just seemed like some guys you could probably really have a good time hanging out with. But they don't know what the fuck they're doing at a hotel. They're like, we usually sleep in a tent. I don't know what they do, but pipeline guys, I don't know. We usually just crawl in the pipe together and cuddle up for warmth. I don't know what the pipeline guys do. They're all kind of different. But anyways, the guy in front of me knew what he was doing. He goes up there, and the guy at the register or whatever, he's taking care of him, and then his phone rings. Not the guy's, the fucking hotel phone rings. And the hotel guy gives him a paper to sign and goes over there, answers the phone call, answers another phone call, puts that on hold, finishes this phone call. Somebody wants to change their reservation, gets back on the phone with the other person, works on their reservation. The phone rings again. It's somebody else talking about they want to bring their dog. Okay, whatever. And then another phone call comes, and it's somebody there. He's like, you're going to have to call corporate. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't know. And I'm like, hey, you got 2 platinum members here. I'm just guessing the guy in front of me was platinum. I don't know. But he seemed like he knew what he was doing. And, dude, like, it finally got to right to where, like, it should have been, like, 2 minutes, and I would have had my key cards. And this fucking guy is answering phone calls like crazy. Like, you should have put everybody on hold, finished up with this guy, then answered a call, and then got to me, you know. No, he answered all the fucking 18 phone calls and helped them all out, everybody on the phone, and then the person that's there in person finally got him his keys, and he's like, "You can go get a pop. Go get a pop for free. I'm so sorry." And the guy was really nice, and you could tell he was there by himself. Like he had nobody there. So he gets out of the way, and then I walk up and I give him my name, and he's like, "Did you just book it?" I'm like, "Hey, fuckhead, Platinum Elite here. Don't you fucking bring your voice in that manner to me. Yes, I booked it recently. You probably don't have a paper filled out because you've been dealing with fuckhead pipeline guys and answering the goddamn phone the whole time. You didn't have time to print out my paper. Sorry." He's like, "Go grab a pop." I'm like, "I don't want a fucking pop. I want to go take a shit. I have to shit my pants right now. Give me my card." And, none of that really, all that happened, but the words that I said were really polite. And none of the bad shit I said. In my head, though, all those words and more were said. Gave me my card, 401, all the way to the top, all the way the fuck over. God damn it. God damn it. But, went to my room and took a fuck, like, you guys don't want to hear it. It was a log. Put your hands on the side of your steering wheel right now. Bam! A fucking log. Dude, it must have been those ribs I had. I don't know. I was like, what the fuck just came out of me? Holy moly. But I was like, man, if I would have shit my pants, I'd have had a fucking boner coming out of my ass. People would have been like, "Damn, that's a BBC coming at your ass." Like, I know, that thing is fucking gigantic. Would have been fucking horribly embarrassing situation to have a gigantic log like a tail out of my back of my pants. That thing was like, when I say log, it was the same shape, size, and you could probably knock on that motherfucker. I was like, Jesus Christ. So anyways, go up to my room. I don't have any of my shit with me, just my phone. Play on that for a little bit. Then I go down and I'm like, time to eat. Because now my tummy is empty and I really would like some food. So I look up and there's a Dairy Queen. Don't really want to go there. Then there's a Wendy's. And I was like, I guess I'm going to go to Wendy's. I'll get me a Baconator. And I'll do them square patties. But Wendy's was twice the amount of walking that Dairy Queen was, but I had already made the mistake of turning left to go to Wendy's. So I had to kind of book it, and there was the birds, there's a bunch of trees over there. They're like certain trees or something. And the birds just are fucking coming on each other over there in the bushes. I don't know. They're all just tweeting like fucking crazy. They're all just flapping around. I don't know what the hell is going on. But the birds and all the trees were going fucking nuts. And I would whistle as I walked by and fucking yell at them and act like a bear, and they'd all fly to the next tree. It was kind of interesting. But then I go to Wendy's and I get my order. Well, I try to order on the fucking menu board thing. Try to, work at Wendy's there and order my food. But you can't make a Baconator a triple. What the fuck? And you can't make your side, instead of fries, chili. It just doesn't let you do that. So I had to go up to the register and wait forever because people thought, they looked over, I'm guessing, and they saw me at the message board and they thought that I had already ordered. And so they're just working. Then they realized, I don't know, 15 minutes later that, oh, this guy doesn't have an order yet, or else it would have been done by now. So then they finally come over and they're like, you need to order? I'm like, yeah, I tried the fucking message board thing, but I need a 3-patty Baconator, large meal with a chili. And then she rings it up, and then I can see it's a large meal, meaning large drink. That's the only thing large about it. And then a small fucking chili. I was like, hey, I got a large meal, not a small meal. Can I get I might as well have gotten a small meal and I could refill my fucking cup 18 times and make up for my large drink. I just want a large chili and a Baconator with 3 patties, yo. Because they got a Dave's Triple. And I tried to modify Dave's Triple into a fucking Baconator. And it was going to be astronomical. You know, fucking, what's that fucking, Bill Nye the Science Guy was going to be like, holy old astronomical. Or what's that other guy called? What's his name? The real science guy? Fuck. Mike? Not Mike. Tyson. What the fuck is his name? The black guy with the fucking hair. Uh, the Tyson guy. I don't know. What the fuck is his name? It's not Mike Tyson. It's... Shit, I can't remember. Neil Tyson. Neil deGrasse Tyson. He'd be like, this is astronomical, the amount of money you're paying for a fucking Baconator right here. Oh, buddy, I got a text message. I must respond now. Anyway, so yeah, I spent $20 because I got 2 small chilies. She could not make the chili a large, so I got 2 small chilies, which was actually too much chili. Not gonna lie, it was too much chili. But yep, I ate it. Everything was fine. It actually tasted okay, but yeah, I scoured down all of that chili, and that was not a good idea, but I did it. And then I went back to my hotel room and I watched Tammy with Melissa McCartney, that movie. I watched the second half of it, and then I watched the first half of it, and then I fell asleep. Oh, and before that, so after we got done getting loaded and everything, we went over to the truck stop that was kind of nearby, and because I was like, I need to get diesel before I do anything. So we went over there, and I got diesel, and the dude I was with, he went in there, and there was actually a Little Caesars pizza inside. And I was getting diesel. He walked in, got food. He walked out, and he's like, "They got pizza in there." I was like, "Oh." And I was like, "Maybe I should cheat today. Maybe I should do a little bit of cheating." And I go in there and I look at the pizzas, and I'm like, "This is too much pizza." You know, if I could just get like one slice of pizza, I'd probably do it. But then I saw Little Caesars. Hey, you got my fucking backs. I've had such a craving for hot wings lately. And they had a little pack of 6 or 7 or 8, I don't remember, probably like 6 hot wings. So I grabbed that, and they didn't have any blue cheese, so I just got ranch. Fine by me. And I go out and I stand next to the other dude's truck to eat, because I'm not going to eat these hot wings in my truck. I just stand outside of his truck and I eat these hot wings. And I'm like, dude, this is fucking awesome. I've had such a craving for hot wings lately. This is amazing. So I ate my hot wings in my ranch. I grabbed a big, what is this fucking cup? Arizona light half and half iced tea. It's got a guy's name on it. I can't fucking read cursive. I don't fucking know what that is. But it's the gray can of Arizona iced tea, the big boy. And so I sit there and I eat that, and he's like, "Hey man, I'm full. Do you want this other slice of pizza?" And my eyes lit up like it was Christmas Day, and I just got me a Red Ryder BB gun and some pellets and like one of those little raccoon hats. And I was like, oh my gosh, for real, for me? I was like, I shouldn't. He's like, I'm gonna throw it away. I'm like, don't throw it away, I'll eat it. And so I grabbed his slice of pizza, and I'm telling you, Little Caesars pizza is slept on because that shit's fucking delicious. Not, I don't think, I think it's their pan pizza, not their regular pizza. I don't know, maybe it is, but their pan pizza that's got the thick fucking crust and everything is so fucking good. And I was like, this is perfect because I really only wanted one slice. I did not want to eat an entire pizza to myself because that's gonna fuck my gut. And I wanted to cheat a little bit, but not a lot. That's perfect. This works out great. And the 6 chicken wings was not enough. But I didn't plan on eating yesterday. Oh, and yeah, I guess all this happened after I found out that we had a little bit of extra money because I planned on not eating at all yesterday. And now you guys are probably like, dude, you were just the last episode, you were bitching and bitching about how you were going to not eat. I left my fucking protein shake in the fridge. God damn it, I just realized I left the fucking protein shake in my hotel room. God damn it. Oh well, it'll be fine. Um, the yeah, we somehow had come into about $150. So she was like, yeah, you can eat now. I'm like, okay, that's great. That's good. And then yeah, my mind just started racing from there. I was like, now, like, if I couldn't eat and there was no money, I was perfectly fine and content. But now that she called me and she's let me know that I could eat, I was like, oh fuck, now I'm so hungry. So on my way up here, I actually stopped off at a Sap Brothers, and I got me a fucking uh, a pork stick. I really went in there just for a coffee, and they have bacon wrapped pork sticks, and I was like, oh shit, I want that so bad. What is going on here? Is that ambulance? No, I don't know what the fuck that is. Just some flashing lights on a truck. So yeah, I ate a pork stick yesterday. I ate chicken wings with ranch, and then I ate a slice of pizza, and I had Wendy's. So yesterday, I didn't fast at all yesterday, like I thought it was gonna. But today's a new day. I could probably skip lunch today, which I probably should since I ate all that bad shit yesterday. I should probably skip lunch today, and make my way back home and eat dinner at home, whatever that may end up being. I got 88 miles. I keep looking at my map. I'm like, I don't want to miss my turn. 88 miles. Jesus Christ. So, anyways, yeah, I had to go to Wendy's, and I had to walk there, and then I had to walk back, and I had to go to my truck and grab my bag, get all my shit loaded up. Yesterday, I was so pissed off because my fucking Bluetooth thing, I think it was after the podcast, I needed my phone needed charged, and I don't like using the Bluetooth thing in the truck really anymore. I like using headsets and earbuds, but that's a, I had a phone charger with me, a little tiny little phone charger you just plug into the cigarette lighter, and everything was fine. And I cannot fucking find it. It's gone, dude. I have 2 charging cables, but I have no fucking charger. It fucking sucks. But my Bluetooth thing will charge my phone, but it was pissing me off so much yesterday because I put it in, and I was like, fine, I'll just listen to, my whatever podcast on the fucking speakers. Every bump I hit, it would turn off and pause, and turn off and pause, and turn off and pause. And you had to keep grabbing your phone and hitting play again. And it was really pissing me off, and but it was charging my phone, and eventually I just gave up. I was like, fuck this. I'm just gonna ride the fucking wagon with no fucking charge on my phone. It'll be fine. I'll make it as long as I don't fuck with my phone too much. Um, yeah, I don't know. It was a pain in the fucking dick. Um, and really, I don't know. That's about it. Um, for yesterday, it was a good time. I'm liking these drive times. Oh, so yesterday I got 14 and a half hours. Pretty fucking nice. Plus $110 per diem for yesterday and today. So nice. And then plus today, I'm thinking today is also going to be another long fucking day. The only thing is I'm going to do things a little bit faster because we don't, our site that's over here, we don't really have to get set up for. We know exactly what we're going to be dealing with. We don't have to sit there and deal with all that shit. So we're just going to go in there, suck on. The other guy is headed out there too. That's what I was trying to get at earlier. The other guy is empty and he's headed out over here. And he's just there for support unless I can't get it all. Which I think him sucking a little bit of diesel on would be a good idea to kind of clean out that oil out of his tank. So maybe I'll bring that up to him. But other than that, like, I'm like, why is he even going out here? He's driving 2 hours over here and 2 hours back for no reason because I'm going to be able to get the rest of the diesel. And it doesn't make sense to split it up. Why load 2 trucks when you could just load the one? And why send 2 trucks when you could just load the one? But I don't know. It don't really matter. It would be nice to have somebody there to block traffic while I get pulled in and backed out of where I need to be and all that good stuff. But yeah, today should go way faster. I'm gonna, I left the hotel, boom, over here, boom, on the way back. I know where I'm gonna offload. I'm gonna pump that shit off and then head down south. Go back home from Lincoln. Shouldn't be too much issues going on here. Should be all right. But I'm gonna have to leave my placards on. Oh, and where I offloaded yesterday, I was pointed a little bit downhill, and I wasn't really a fan of that. But because now I probably still have product that wasn't able to get blown out from my tank. I pressurized my tank, and technically, I guess it could push all of the product out, but I really don't think it did. I really think I still have 100 or so gallons of diesel on my truck right now. So I left it placarded overnight, and I'm leaving it placarded until I get back to the shop because I'm not washing out. I'm not spraying out or anything. And if you get pulled over and they want to check your tank or whatever, then you might get in a little bit of trouble if you don't have a clean tank. So I'm just gonna leave it placarded and call it good. Should be fine. Shouldn't have any problems. The other dude, I don't know. His style. I was throwing his hoses in his truck, and he's like, "Oh, we got to strap all these down." I was like, "What? Why?" He's like, "They might fall out." I'm like, "They ain't gonna fall the fuck out." So I don't know. His style, I guess his style is pretty good because he's gonna strap down everything, and he's never gonna have shit fall off of his truck. That's nice, but it's also like this shit ain't gonna fall out. None of my shit's strapped down. I just got shit just laying in the side boxes. I ain't even worried about it. I feel like I'm missing a hose though. Just kidding. I'm fucking with you guys. But yeah, there was actually no way station between here and there, so that's kind of nice, not having to worry about that. I'm gonna pump all this in there, but it should be like 500 gallons less than I got yesterday. And then yeah, I don't know, the guy doing the oil, I left a couple of absorbent rags over there because he sucked some oil and then it didn't seem like it was still dripping on the ground. So I left some rags there. So I might, if he gets there, he'll just touch up everything, I guess. But I think I'm gonna have him go ahead and suck the remaining. I guess just have him suck the remaining 800 gallons out of that one truck or engine, and then I'll suck the one entire engine, and then we'll be good because he is going to need a little bit of diesel to rinse out because it makes what is he going to dump 5 gallons? What is that going to do? That's not anything. So, anyways, should be an earlier day. 2 hours here, 2 hours back. Well, 5 hours, I guess. Half an hour to get loaded, hopefully, and then half an hour to get offloaded, hopefully, and then 5 hours south back to home. 5 + 5 is 10. I'm going to be right at, it's probably going to be a 13-hour day, all in all. It'll probably be 13 hours. I'm going to make it home. It's going to be a late day, though. Why do I got the heat on? Because it's cold outside. And I got this. This is the worst fucking coffee here. Not good. Not good at all. Really not good. It's actually better cold than it is hot. So, now, I don't know. Now that I think about it, it's actually okay. It's okay coffee. But when I got up this morning, I grabbed a coffee cup from the room and I took it over and I filled it up with ice at the ice machine because they don't have ice machines on the first floor. So I was smart about this. I prepared for it. I grabbed a cup of ice. I take the elevator down. I go into the lunch room or breakfast room or whatever. I set all my shit down and my cup of ice. I go over. I make a cup of coffee. I come back and I put some ice in it. And then I go back over. I fill up a second coffee because these coffee cups are much smaller than my big coffee cup that I have here. So I grab a second coffee, go over, put some ice in it, and then I go in the room and I grab a plate of bacon and sausage gravy. And then I go over and I'm like, I don't really want to sit here and eat all this right now, so I'm just going to go out and get ready. So I go out to my truck, and as I'm walking out to my truck, I sip one of the coffees. Fucking disgusting. And it's not that warm at all. Like, did I put too much ice in it? I don't think so. I don't think it was very hot coming out of the pot. So, anyways, I dumped my coffees in there, and the one that was slightly warm, I chugged the rest of it because there was a little bit left that didn't fit in my big coffee cup. And it was fucking disgusting, dude. It was so nasty. But it is coffee. And then I put it in my cup that I left out in my truck overnight, and we're in Nebraska. It's cold overnight. That thermos is fucking cold. So anything you pour in, it's going to get even colder. And I haven't touched it. And the bacon tastes like fucking shit also. It tastes like plastic. So I have a plate of bacon and sausage gravy sitting on the floorboard of my truck over here that I'm not going to eat. I ain't going to eat it. That shit's gross. I grabbed a fuckload of bacon, though. But it looked like it was the good bacon, and it turned out to not be the good bacon. And then I just took the first sip of my coffee since I put it in the cup here, and yeah, it's cold, but it's in a metal can, and it kind of tastes like one of those fucking cold coffees you get out of the deal. I did 2 pumps of French vanilla in each one. Usually I'll just throw 1 cream and 2 or 3 sugars in each one. I was like, 2 pumps sounds good. And it's actually the good color. It's got a really nice color to it. And now I need to take another sip of it to see what this thing tastes like. Because I think that was actually pretty good. I was expecting it to be fucking gross. Holy shit. It does not have a good aftertaste. But the while you're drinking it, I'm like, damn, that ain't bad. If they sold lightly sweetened coffee with a little bit of cream from fucking Starbucks or whatever, that's what it would taste like, and that's pretty fucking good. The aftertaste sucks. Tastes like somebody dumped an ashtray in there. Nebraska is one of the most flat states I've ever been on. Like, you would think, oh, Missouri, Kansas, Iowa. No, they have like rolling hills. Nebraska, I can see where I'm going 90 miles away. I can see the fucking speck. This is as flat as possible. So flat. Neil deGrasse Tyson said that if you had an exact replica of the Earth that you can hold in your hand, it would be the most smoothest object you have ever. It would be smoother than a polished ball. I'm like, I don't believe that for a second. But I guess it kind of makes a little bit of sense. Not really. I don't know. That doesn't make sense at all. I feel like it wouldn't be. I disagree with Neil deGrasse Tyson. I don't think the Earth is that smooth. I don't think the Earth is flat. I'm not one of those guys. For some reason, Facebook keeps sending me shit to try to convince me that the Earth is flat. And there's this one dude that's got a little bit of a lisp that gets on there, and he's like, guys, have you seen the fucking blah, 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 blah? I'm like, shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! I haven't blocked him yet, but I should. But it's like, guys, do you think something strange is going on with the flooding? Shut the fuck up! Shut up! Why are your videos coming to my fucking feed? I've never searched. I almost searched something insane last night, and I didn't. But I've never searched flat Earth. I've never done that. I don't. Why is it? There's a lot of conspiracy theories, and I like to entertain conspiracy theories a little bit. But I'm counting every time I get on my goddamn phone. It's just conspiracy theory, flat Earth, space isn't real, birds are fake, all this shit, all the time. I'm like, stop. I want to see square bodies, dogs, cute animals, sometimes somebody getting hit by a truck. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see flat Earth fucking lispy guy over here talking. Yeah, I almost searched something crazily insane. Because I keep remembering back to this one guy's podcast where the guy's like, I'm addicted to trans porn. And I'm like, that's fucking gross. And he's like, dude, you can't fucking tell. And I'm like, can you? And I've almost fucking searched good trans porn. I didn't. I just couldn't tell. I was like, please don't. I don't need that coming up anywhere at all. It's coming up here on the podcast, but I promise you, I searched hot chicks' tits. That's what I searched. Okay, that's what I did. I did not search nice trans tits. That's what I was thinking about doing. I was like, okay, let's see. But I don't like fakes. I don't like fake titties. You can, I mean, I guess there could be some that you couldn't tell, but most of the ones that if you can tell they're fake tits, I don't like them. I don't like them at all. They do not get me anything. I'm just like, that is horse shit. I want some real, soft, delicious looking tits. That's what I want to see. My wife's got some. I like her tits. I like her tits a lot. I lay in bed and breastfeed with her sometimes. She ain't got no milk, but I sit there and suck on them. I'm a little baby cow, baby calf, sucking on them fucking delicious titties. Sometimes I put my penis in between them. I'm getting a little far out there, y'all. But it's a great thing, and when you're in a hotel, that's all you got to look at is tits and Tammy on FX. I don't know. This podcast took a strange turn there real quick. I don't know. I felt like being honest with you guys that I almost searched that. I'm not saying I'm not going to search that in the future, but as of right now, I'm not searching it. Oh, and then there's another podcast. The guy was talking about the fucking Thailand lady boys or whatever, lady girls, whatever. I don't know what the fuck they're called. And then I always remember back to that. Shane Gillis was talking about that the the special people where they go to see the Ladyboy show and the guy's like sexy ladies, and then he goes there and then he's like sexy ladies, and then the ladies start taking off their wigs and stuff, and he's like, what the fuck? And then they put their wigs back on, and he's like, yeah, sexy ladies. It's just like, I don't know. But those, I guess the one guy, he's like, yeah, you can get really tricked by those Thai lady boys. It's fucking insane. Because I guess in Thailand, it's not okay to be gay. But you can be trans all you want. Which is fucking insane. I just don't want to go to Thailand. I don't want to get into a situation like that. I don't want to be over there gawking and then, whoa, what the fuck? There is somebody that is trans in my family. It's not my side of the family, let's just say that. I'm not telling you, but it ain't my side of the family, but it may be a family that I developed inside. That doesn't sound like the right word to use. A family that I became a part of. And there's this dude, right? Dude in prison. And he got out of prison, and I guess he used to be super fucking fat. And he was still pretty fat when he got out of prison and came over to Easter. But he seemed like an okay guy. You know, he's like, yeah, I was in prison. I did some bad shit, but, I'm back. I'm okay. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Cool, dude. Nice to meet ya. And then he started wearing lady clothes around, and the family that I am a part of now they don't really jive with that too much. So they made a big point about it, and they kind of alienated this person. And then this person just started showing up sometimes. And then went with another family member to the doctor's office and had some sort of an amputation go on. And holy moly, this is a dude without a dick, okay? Listen, there are some trans people out there. If you can't tell and you think it's an actual woman, bravo. You did it. You're a woman now. Some people chop their dick off and still look like a Mack truck. Okay? And that's what I'm talking about. Ma'am, you ever seen that video where there's that person inside a GameStop I'm still convinced that is the person I'm talking about. To a T. Not fat. Not fat, right? Not fat anymore. This person completely changed their life. They are older and they decided they wanted to be a woman, so they chopped that thing off, got on Ozempic, and now is running around. And I'm not pretty sure, but it's convincing that that is the same exact person I'm talking about. Could be a part of my family right there at the GameStop. It's ma'am! It's ma'am! I'm like, whoa, buddy, relax. Hey, man, relax. It's ma'am! I'm like, oh, shit, dude. Like, the GameStop guy just keeps using boy words. It's so fun. Like, hey, listen. If you can't tell, bravo. If you can tell, maybe you made a mistake. I don't know. Maybe you should just start dressing. I don't know. You do whatever you want. I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't do. But I can tell you it's going to be funny. And I'm going to make fun of it. But you can do whatever you want. And I support you. There's a lot of funny looking people out there that aren't trans. Okay? And I make fun of them too. If I was leaving you out, that would mean I'm a transphobe. Right? I don't know. Maybe this is the podcast that Spotify actually gets a hold of, and they're like, all right, enough. Kletus Ray's Roadside Services out of here. We're done with you. No more. You're pushed the line one too many times. Just kidding. I don't think Spotify even knows I'm a thing. Anyways, I'm just making fun here, okay? Listen, don't get your feelings hurt from some idiot truck driver driving down the road complaining about his Holiday Inn experience, okay? I treat everybody with respect. No matter what I say on here, I'm really a respectful guy, and it doesn't matter who you are or what I actually think. I'm going to treat you with respect. Everybody. I may laugh at you, though. But that's a positive feeling. Me smiling and laughing means I'm glad you are who you are. Now, if I had a frown on my face and I fucking tried to attack you, yeah, that's not cool. That's not cool. I would never attack anybody unless you're really attacking me or my family or my dogs or my square body. Attack the equinox. Attack the equinox. Don't touch the square body. I mean, actually, it would be a kind of a fun story if you put a big fucking dick dent in the side of my square body. I'd be like, you know what did that? Guess what I fucking hit on the highway? Look at the dick print on that. Just kidding. I'm making fun here, okay? The square body, it could use a couple of more body dents. Okay, it's actually a pretty straight truck. It would be nice. There's a guy on Facebook that he's got a square body. The whole front end is fucking shifted up. It's like he took a jump and nosedived, and he still drives that motherfucker around. I like it. I like it a lot. And I'm like, fuck yes. Rusty, beat up trucks is what I'm about. Like I've said before, and I'm going to say again, a clean, lowered, really nice, perfectly done bodywork and paint job, immaculate interior, square body truck. Everybody thinks, oh, that's what every square body guy wants. No. If I had that truck, I would sell it and I'd buy 75 fucking rusty ones. If I have something that nice, I'm going to fuck it up and then I'm going to be upset at myself. I got to have the fucked up ones, and I like the fucked up ones way more. I like the patina, but I don't like the glossy patina also. Like people, they clear coat over all this patina and shit, and I'm like, now it looks like it was meant to be like that, you know, or it looks like you made that. I don't like that at all. I want it to be naturally dull and fucking beat up. And that's why there's that one guy, he painted his truck. I think he used like tractor paint or whatever, I don't know. But there's a guy on YouTube, an old guy. I showed my buddy the video the other day. He like fixed up this square body, slammed it down to the ground. Well, I don't know if I guess he did lower it a little bit and painted it all up. He didn't do any body work except for like rust holes and stuff, and he cleaned it up, and it's a pretty badass little truck. Uh, that's kind of okay because you can see the dents in it. He didn't fix any of the dents. He just, cut out the floor pan, put his own floor pan in and everything, and made it that truck. And it's a nice truck. But I like the style. He didn't fix any of the dents. He's still got dents in the bed, dents in the door, fender, and stuff, and just painted over it. Made it look kind of decent. I like that, and that's I really don't want to do that to my truck. I don't want to paint it, but I don't like the color. I don't like the color it is. It's like a tealish blue, like aqua blue, and I don't like that at all because it's not. That's somebody just painted it that way, and I don't like it. I like that it all matches, and it's got a little bit of like rust patina and dents and stuff. Like where the dents are, there's rust, and if I sand it down or prep it for paint and I paint over all that stuff, then I'm gonna have to go through. It's gonna look fake whenever I go through and I sand off the fucking where the dents are to make it look patinaed again. It's gonna be all fake. So I think I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. I might throw a white stripe down the side of it though. And maybe like I'll repaint parts of it, like the tailgate. I'm gonna leave the tailgate the way it is, the doors, the fender, but I might paint the hood to just kind of throw it off a little bit. Paint the hood flat black and let it naturally get sun faded and shit. But if it starts chipping off and there's blue underneath, that's gonna look pretty ugly. I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. Maybe I just need to go find I don't know. I'd like to paint it. I just said I didn't want to paint it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I want it to be painted the color I want, but then I want it to sit out in the field for about 25 years to get all sun faded on one side and, where the sun comes up, whatever, and just fade that fucking paint, make it look like shit, but I don't want it to, get paint chips and then be able to see the teal blue underneath because then you're like, oh, that's not original. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I don't know. So in the future, whenever I decide that this truck is taking too much abuse and like the cab is falling apart and everything, and I got to do a cab swap, maybe I'll just find a donor truck and swap all my shit into the donor truck, and then I don't know, leave this one sitting in the backyard. I don't know. But there's one guy on YouTube that I started watching recently. He has it's an original orange and white. It's all orange, but the roof is white, the mirrors are white, the bumpers are white, and it just looks good. Like the bumpers weren't chrome and then painted white because that wouldn't work out. The bumpers were just bare metal, then painted from the factory white, and I think that truck looks fucking awesome. Now that guy got me thinking though, because he took it out for an off-road trip and he flexed it, and the frame rail was coming up through his cab, which doesn't make sense. There's got to be something crazily wrong there. But he went through and he redid some of the floors on it to make it not do that anymore. And it's got me thinking that maybe my truck would do the same thing if I took my truck for a flex test, and then I'd have a fucking frame rail coming through my floorboard, and that would not be cool at all. So that's why I was going at it yesterday, talking about doing the floorboards, riveting. I'm going to do that. I'm going to rivet them on, but if something does happen where the shit gets twisted, I'll have to take that floorboard out and throw in that $12 piece of fucking angled metal and get it welded in or whatever, which if the truck is running and driving, I can drive it to my shop, and we have a welder and a car lift and all kinds of shit there. But right now, while it's at my house, I don't have a welder. I don't have any. I could get a trailer from the shop and take the truck back to the shop and then work on it in my spare time after work and all that shit. But I'd rather just get it running and driving the way it is, and then in the future start doing some body work at my shop with the welder that we got there. I'll probably have to buy a roll of wire or whatever, just so they don't get too pissed off at me for using all their welding supplies. But other than that, I don't think they're going to have a problem with me using the welder in the shop and all that stuff. Yeah, one of the next steps that I really want to do is I'm going to definitely need a friend, maybe 2 friends, maybe 3 friends to get the bed off of the truck. I need to get the bed cleaned out. It is piled full of shit. I need to fill up my dumpster with all the shit that I don't need out of there, and then the rest of the shit set off to the side, get the bed yanked off the frame, and then start cleaning up the frame and working on some of the stuff underneath. I want to make it look fucking nice. And then with the bed off, and with the body lift, I've said it before, of course I'm going to say it again. With the body lift, I can really get to the frame underneath the cab and get all that cleaned up. And then, so the bed from the rear bumper to, let's say, the front of the cab or up to the engine, I can get all that really easily. And then later on, if I ever do decide to pull the engine, then I can clean up the front end, which I'd really like to do. I could probably do it with the engine in there. There's really not a whole lot going on down there. Just pull the starter and get that all nice and cleaned up. It would be kind of cool to pull the fenders off and the wheel tubs out and get all that cleaned up. Because I want everything to be super nice except for the body. And when I say nice, not replaced and fixed, I want it just to be clean and painted. Eventually running new brake lines and fuel lines and all that good shit. I don't know. It's got the rubber fuel line now, and as long as it's mounted good and it doesn't leak, I guess I can keep running that rubber fuel line. I don't want to have to run brand new fuel lines right now at this point in time until I get that fuel cell. Once I get the fuel cell, then I'll probably do that. But I don't plan on getting a fuel cell for a while. I'm gonna just I'm gonna remove the one tank out, probably drop the other tank also, and then I'd like to move that tank over to the driver's side, and just get everything cleaned up, nice looking, and then I'll just run the one fuel tank and just try not to get T-boned on the driver's side. And then keep my eye out for the fuel cell that I want. And once I get it, then get it plumbed in and set in, and then drop that one tank and then sell it on Facebook Marketplace. Here you go. We got you a brand new square body fuel tank. It's not brand new, but it doesn't leak. It's in good shape. And here's some hangers too. Make the underneath look nice and clean. And with the body lift, you can see the fuel tank from the side, and I don't like that at all. I don't like being able to see the fucking fuel tank sticking out the bottom. Don't think it looks good at all. Anyways, I've been over here talking for a while. You knew you were going to get some square body talk at some point in time. So, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Keep all 18 down. Adios.